medical aesthetic treatments that I would never do to my face, as someone who probably did already more medical aesthetic treatments in my life that you will ever do. Yes, I do believe that as a woman, it's good to take care of yourself. It's good to do treatments to obviously become who you want to become, but also to prevent aging. I do believe that, a lot of people online, they accuse me of getting so much surgery and so on. But if you watch my channel, you know that I'm a big fan of less invasive treatments that done regularly over time will also give you good results. But there are some treatments that I know a lot of people are doing, but I don't think that are a good idea. So number one, girls, the under eye filler. This was popular years ago, like 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Still people are doing that. But if now someone is offering you to do under eye filler, it's a red flag and you should leave that clinic. Under eye filler is not a good idea, because filler, if you have it in your face, it can expand. So if you have some water retention in your body, you wake up swollen, maybe you had too much carbs the day before, maybe you had too much salt, it will get a little bit bigger, expand and swollen. So that means, for example, if you have your, right now I just had my period, I'm still having it. So for example, my lips are more swollen because I absorb more water. And as much as it's okay for the lips to be a little bit more swollen, sometimes for the under eye, it's not okay. You will look very puffy. On top of that, the skin here is very thin. And a lot of women who got under eye filler, they get this problem that literally, because the skin here is so thin, you can literally see the filler under the skin, and how you can see it is a little bit gray, you can see a different color. It's not a good idea. It doesn't look good, and there are so many better options if you have problem with the under eye area. If it's like a little bit problem, use the Rejuran, the under eye Rejuran. It will work good. Maybe you need 2 sessions, but it's something that will help basically your skin to rejuvenate itself. It's not any foreign object that you're putting in your body that will stay there like a filler. No, it will help your skin to rejuvenate. If your problem is very big, if you have a lot of hollowness, you need to do basically put there your own fat, which is already a surgery. Or you can, if you have a lot of skin, you can do lower blepharoplasty when they cut out the skin. But again, you need to understand what is your problem. And I'm sorry to, I told you at the beginning of this video that I am a big fan of medical aesthetic treatments before the surgeries. But, what I mean is if you see a little bit change here, start doing Rejuran, start doing microneedling, dermapen, anything for the skin. And then you prevent putting yourself in the state where you already need a surgery. But if it's really bad, maybe you need a surgery. And yeah, that's from my side on that. Again, next thing, the jaw filler. So putting here a lot of, it was popular to have this Angelina Jolie jaw. And a lot of women, they were putting jaw filler there. So from the side, you can see a nice jaw, girls. The problem with this jaw filler is that it looks good from the side. But if you look front, you start looking like a SpongeBob. Your face is looking square. Putting a filler in the jaw is not nice, because to look better, you look more feminine, you're trying to make more V-shape. If you, people are literally getting this muscle, with Botox to slim down the face. Why would you put filler there? It is making you look less feminine, and it makes you look square from the front. It doesn't look good. Not even telling that if you put too much of this filler, when you open your mouth, you can see this filler moving there. It looks very bad. If you want to have a snatched jawline, it's better to do treatments that are skin tightening and fat reduction. So first of all, if you are bigger and you have excessive fat that is covering that jaw, you need to lose weight. If you have, maybe you are like skinny but still the fat is there, or you have a lot of skin, there are many treatments that you can do with ultra therapy, HIFU, ultra former, ultra, different treatments. Basically what they will do, what I do to my face, and okay, my jaw is not super defined, but you know, look at my face. I look like a little dumpling, okay? I am all like squishy and so on. So for me, it's like a big achievement to actually have a jaw. So, but look, I have a little bit of jaw. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't see myself recording this, so I'm not sure how my jaw looks in this light. But in some pictures, people ask me like, oh, what did you do for the jaw? I do just this tightening treatments. That's it. It will help you. And again, you don't have a foreign body, something that stays there. It's again a treatment that will stimulate your own skin, your own collagen. Again, nose filler. Another filler. First of all, it's super dangerous to do. Second of all, it is super rare to see it actually look good. Like a lot of women, they get it done. And these doctors, you will go on these doctors' profiles and they will show you this before and afters. And these girls, they look nice, for example, only from the side, but from the front, it will look terrible. It is, I think it is really hard to make the nose actually nicer just with this filler, but it's dangerous. And if you really don't like your nose, just do the actual rhino. And I think maybe better idea is even the fat dissolving from the nose. Some people do. I never tried. I'm not sure how healthy is that, but you know, just putting some foreign thing in your nose, I don't think is a good idea. Next, any thread lifts. So basically, you know how they do this foxy eye of the thread lifts when they put threads and they are trying to do like this or something. I see the results, but what I don't like about it is, first of all, that never lasts. Don't try anyone to convince you to do thread lifts. It will last for 2 weeks max, if not 1 week, and that will be all. It doesn't last. And again, next thing is that you have a fucking thread in your face. So basically, it stays with you. And even the ones that they are promised to dissolve, sometimes they don't dissolve fully, I heard. And then you cannot do, you know, like, for example, you could never do facelift in the future. And obviously now the facelift is like a very controversial topic. But I do believe right now we have already some of the facelifts have good results. I think in 20 years, when we will be older, the facelifts will be like so much developed to be great. And imagine that you, in the future, you cannot do a facelift because your 20-year-old self wanted to have a raised eyebrow and you put some fucking threads in your face. So don't do it. Not worth it. Next thing, I would never do a cheek filler, even though many doctors suggested me to do cheek fillers. So as you know, if you watch my channel from like my previous, how I looked before, I had big smile lines. So the lines here, and a lot of doctors, when you have smile lines, and like so many doctors told me to do just cheek filler here, because if you add volume here, it will pull that cheek up and this line will be smoothened. I think this is, for me, it was always the biggest red flag in doctors. So I think the cheek filler itself is not like always bad. I have some friends, especially, and I even recommend sometimes the girls, if you have oval face and you want to have this more doll shape, like a more heart shape, you know, like widen your face, is great. But the problem is that if a doctor suggests me putting a filler there, I know it's the worst doctor ever, because my face is so wide already. If I would put filler on top of that, I would be so big. You know, like, you really also need to understand, because your friend might get something done, but you need to understand your own face, your own proportions, and so on. That's why I'm doing this personalized glow up audits where the girls can send me pictures of themselves and I tell them exactly where is the imbalance, what they should change, and so on. I will put in the description. And I also pointed here because recently I had a client and she had the same issue, that she had smile lines and someone injected her like 4 milliliters in the cheeks. And you know, the cheeks are problematic because they migrate, but also it's really hard to dissolve, because how you know where to dissolve, like this, you know, in the lips, they kind of, this filler kind of stays. If you want to dissolve, you see kind of where is this filler, right? And then you can dissolve and so on. But when they put so much filler in her cheeks, they made her so white. You know how hard is it to dissolve? I don't know. I know, but I have some friends who had longer faces. They put cheek fillers. Perfect. If you have a good injector, it looks very nice. But be really careful about your specific case. And then there is one thing I don't see that much. I think I've never met a person to have it who had it, like, or maybe I never had a friend that had it. But for example, in Asia, there is a big trend right now, and they are trying to have very round here, and they all put temple fillers, so filler here to make it round. There is a trend like this. I think it looks really bad, in my opinion, but they have this beauty standard, for example, in Thailand, and they always want to inject here. I think it's dangerous, but they have good doctors, so I believe they don't have any complications. But I just bring it here because I think we also need to be really careful with things that we do, because sometimes we just follow trends, and we also need to consider, like, you know, that something might be just trend right now. For example, a lot of girls, they come to me and they, for example, they want bigger lips, and on this Glow Up Audits, they ask, okay, should I do filler or a lift, right? A surgical lift. And my answer, obviously I look at the face. Not everyone is good candidate for the lift. Not everyone is good candidate for the filler. So I also judge by this. But for the girls that basically would look good with a lift, most of the times with the good injector, every single woman can do lip filler and it would look good. If the injector is good, they can make lips out of, even if someone has straight lines, they can have a nice lips. But with the lip lift, not all of the girls are a good candidate for a lip lift from many reasons, right? So, but sometimes girls come to me and they ask like, which one will be better for me, a filler or a lift? And if there is a girl who can have a lift, I always tell her, listen, in my opinion, lift is better for you because, you know, you can do like a more natural effect and it looks nice and so on. But you need to be really careful, because right now we have 2026 and everyone wants a big lips, and you don't know what will happen in 2032 or 2036 when you'll be older. Maybe the big lips will not be in trend. So the filler has this advantage over the lift, that you can always take it back, you can always dissolve it, and I've seen many of my clients dissolve the filler and it looks fine. But a lip lift you cannot bring back, right? So also choosing the treatments and surgeries, you need to be careful. That's why I always tell them, like, oh, if you want to risk it, that you will always like if you trust yourself that you will forever love your big lips, do a lift. But if you're not 100% sure, do filler, because this is what we see right now with the tattoos. Everyone is doing a tattoo removal, right? That's all from me today. I hope you girls have a great day, and thank you for watching.